Hi guys, and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. In this video, we are going to be taking a quick look at Cardano's ADA just to see what is going on and whether or not the upward trend that we've seen in the last little while is going to continue or whether our downward trend is going to win. As we get into this video, guys, if you find it useful and informative, do hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you won't miss another update. Right, with that said, done out of the way, let's get into what is going on here with Cardano. And this is our daily chart. Binance is a data source, and we are paired up with USDT. Now, I did an update on Cardano last night, so anyone who was watching that video would know what's kind of potentially on the horizon here. Now we are looking to correct our stochastic relative strength index. We are into the oversold area now on this daily chart. That's a really good positive sign, but obviously we've still got a bit of work to go. Okay, so we've been tracking in this overbought area at the top here for quite some time. We were talking about needing this correction. We can start to see the correction happen, but we aren't quite there just yet. So more downside is potentially on the horizon. Now, obviously, we are fighting up against some previous interesting areas. Right now, the previous all-time high seems to be a very strong support line for us. And if that continues to hold, then we could potentially continue to trade sideways around this area as we start to correct and finish this correction within our stochastic relative strength index. Okay, and obviously, smart contracts are due to roll out in just a couple of weeks. This could again have another profound impact on the ADA price. We could start to see this thing pushing right back up again, and in a really strong and meaningful way. We could start to see some solid projects launching on the ecosystem as well in the next little while. So all of these things will have an impact on the ADA price and the ADA technicals here, because obviously the technical data so far doesn't understand or doesn't know that smart contracts are rolling out in a couple of weeks. There's lots of hype, I guess, helping to push the price to the upside. And again, we did quite well to push the price to the all-time high just over here on the 23rd of August, up at $2.97. Now, the pullback since this particular point in time is something that's quite natural, and again, this is because we were overbought on this way to the upside. We started to lose momentum during this correction here once we passed through the 786 of the Fibonacci, but again, pushing through this, getting that closed candle there really pushed things to the all-time high area, even though we were correcting and losing momentum with ADA. So what we're going to do is we're just going to check the 𝗲𝗓 dashboard as well. Okay, guys, so here we have Cardano's ADA. It has not dropped down a rating. It's still an A3 rating, so nothing has changed there, which is fantastic to see. So again, we should be pretty stable, hopefully. So we'll have a look and see if there's anything that's jumping out of us here. We still have a very greedy market for Cardano. The fear and greed index is up there at an A3 rating, although it has come down from the extreme greed scenario. So some profits have obviously been taken. We can see that within the candles. We can also see that the moving averages are up at A2. That's good. Sharp ratios and A2 above the 50 moving average there. And the return on investment is still an A1 rating. The liquidity hasn't really changed, still perfectly fine at an A2 rating, no problems with liquidity. So overall, the artificial intelligence and machine learning of the advice.io dashboard has not picked up anything concerning for Cardano. So that's going to be positive to note. So as we can see here, obviously the correction that we started to see for ADA here, and obviously a bit of a push back to the upside right now. But let's jump into that hourly and see what's going on there. Okay, so here we can see that we found good support just down here at $2.47. Again, this is in line with the expectations of everything that we were talking about yesterday, right? So we were talking about potentially finding good support and trading between these areas, right? Up here was the resistance at $2.64. And again, we are losing a little bit of momentum here. And if we actually draw a trend line, we can see that there is a trend forming just in here, right? So we can see that there's a downward trend line just forming inside here. Now this is a bit concerning, but it does form a triangular wedge that could play out quite nicely for Cardano. As well, of course, we're heading to the oversold area quite nicely on the daily chart. Our stochastic relative strength index on the hourly is, of course, heading to the overbought area. So we are looking for a pullback on the shorter term. So today we should be expecting to get rejected from this trend line and potentially go down and find support down here again at $2.47. Okay, and in doing so, we're going to get hopefully trapped inside this triangular wedge that could explode to the upside in the next little while. So probably a day to 2 days or so. And if we do see that happen, that would be a very, very strong indication of what is to come during the smart contract launch. Okay, so we are looking for short-term correction here for ADA. There's nothing of concern when it comes to the artificial intelligence on the advice dashboard. And again, you know, it's going to be a short-term correction that could see long-term gains. We are now obviously in a pretty decent correction for our daily chart, so we're getting down into the oversold area, which means that we should be talking about going after the first price target in the next few weeks. That being said, though, we obviously have to take the understanding that September historically has been a month of corrections, and therefore we could see a significant correction during the month of September if history plays and repeats itself. Okay, so with that being said, though, being nice and oversold where we're going on this daily chart, that's a really positive sign. And obviously the short-term pullback that we're looking for on the hourly. If we are ever in doubt, though, do zoom out and take a look at the weekly chart, because again, the weekly chart gives us the biggest understanding, or best understanding as to where things are going. We are looking very, very strong as we go and continue the growth to the upside, where we have significant price predictions for Cardano. Okay, and obviously here we are heading to the overbought area, right? So we are, of course, looking to have some kind of short-term pullback and then another pushback to the upside. That could be the month of September, where we start to see Cardano lose some traction before actually continuing its growth to the upside. Okay, so we have to be mindful that nothing moves in straight lines. We've only had one red week so far, and we haven't even completed this week in terms of candles yet. So once that actually kind of does complete, then obviously be aware that we are looking for, you know, going back up into this overbought area in the same way that we were tracking for the majority of this third wave. Now we can, of course, stay up here for quite some time, and the fact that our daily chart is all the way down here, it gives us plenty of room to continue the growth to the upside as needed. So although historically September has been a month of corrections, this weekly chart and our daily in line with our hourly is indicating that actually everything is likely to move to the upside shortly. So although there are some small pullbacks, we are looking very good for a good finish to the end of the year, guys. So if you're ever in doubt, do zoom out and you'll get the bigger picture. Hopefully you have found this brief update on Cardano useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will not miss another Cardano update. Guys, with that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one.